When you have a concept like weight and space, that gives you a starting point for almost every piece. I'm Thaddeus Mosley, and I'm a sculptor from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I went to the University of Pittsburgh, and the Carnegie Museum is next door. And I didn't know anything about art, but you formed your own appeal. You didn't have someone saying, well, this is right, this is wrong, and you began to see what in your own mind, that what was beautiful and what was striking. To me, this is the best kind of art education. And of course, back then, I never thought of myself as being in Carnegie International or any other international. I was just, muddling my way through, trying to find some sort of a vision on my own. I think my art, and almost any art that I like, is like a spiritual experience. It should give some delight, some joy. Even art that is controversial, it should arouse your senses in some way. When I first started, of course, the things I emulated were carved in wood. But also in Pennsylvania, wood is plentiful. If you're going to buy marble and stuff like that, you're going to have to come up with money. But you can always find a log somewhere. The main thing that attracts me about wood is the difference in color, the difference in texture. I don't think there's any material, whether it's steel or stone, that has the same natural, beautiful qualities that wood has. Early on, there's a lot of parks, and the Parks Division would cut down logs, and they'd leave them there 2 or 3 days before they'd take them away. Well, you had an opportunity to get those logs. One day we're going down to South Park, and we come past this house with this sculpture in the yard, and we stopped. It was at G. Dave Thompson's house. Well, the first time I saw Calder's work, it was a combination of Staybell and mobile. So a lot of times, even if we didn't even need logs, we'd drive out there just to look at the stuff in the yard. America's very color conscious and stuff, so you're out in a totally white neighborhood, and 3 black guys are standing outside your property. And so he came out and he says, do you know what you're looking at? And we said, yeah, that's Giacometti, that's Calder, and so forth. He said, and he was amazed, he said, how do you know what this stuff is? I said, well, we're trying to be artists. We carve, and this other guy paints. And he says, my neighbors think I'm crazy. They don't know what any of this is. I said, well, they're not interested in art. The fact that someone was able to use nothing but light and air, using the light as it's shown on his work, and emphasize the colors, and using air as it causes it to float. But at certain times, when they're in movement, they form a mass in shape. Whereas my pieces, they just sort of occupy space and accentuate the void, because that is also a property of Calder's work. I always tell people you have to walk around to get the feeling of movement. And my work, like Calder's, have a sense of balance and imbalance. And people always say, gee, it looks like they should fall over. I said, well, that's my idea of weight and space. But I'm very eager to see the juxtaposition of Calder and Mosley, the idea of levitation in 2 different ways. One very stationary, and the other one moving, and hoping that there'll be a dance or a rhythm between these 2 ideas.